YouTube has just demonetized Russell Brand's YouTube channel. Now, whatever your thoughts are on Russell Brand and these allegations, this is not the way. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Remember when I said it was going to get ugly? Oh, it's going to get ugly, guys. It's going to get ugly. I'm seeing it all over. Just because I'm allowing myself to hear these victims, I'm getting a lot of flack from many of you. How dare you, Andy? Look, let me just clarify something before we even get to the story, because this is an important one you got to hear. And it's so hypocritical of YouTube, and I'm going to show you why. Before I go there, I do think it's important for me to remind everybody that I have not declared Russell Brand innocent or guilty, because he is innocent until he's proven guilty in the court of law. I'm not going to defend his innocence, and I'm not going to say he's guilty because I don't know. That's the reality here. And I think there is some evidence that's come in that we should listen to. Russell says he has proof to discredit it. I'm waiting. Let him have his time to gather and do it. He has every right to do that. If that text, if that kit and all the doctor's notes and everything is fake, if those things are fake, which a lot of you seem to think they are, and they could be, I guess, they could, my God, the Sunday Times will be decimated and have no credibility forever. Now, I know a lot of you are like, Andy, of course, because the mainstream media sucks and it always lies. I hear you. I don't trust the media at all, but I would just assume an outlet like the Times would be careful to put all of their eggs in this basket and then lie about the text and everything else. And now, if they did, I'll be the first one to report it, correct myself, and say, my God, and I will never, ever source them again. Let's be clear. And talk about an easy layup of a win for Russell Brand. If that text is fake, if there is no actual kit that she went to, if there are no doctors and police notes that she's saying there are, and that journalist defrauded all that, Russell Brand is going to get especially rich because now he's lost his YouTube channel over it. All that money, now there are real damages coming in. So guys, this is very serious. This isn't some like, oh, he's sleeping around. He's, pervert. Oh, I had a bad date with him. No, this is a crime he's being accused of. She's brought in evidence that shows that he said sorry after this woman texted, no means no. Look, I don't know what's truthful. I wasn't there. I'm not condemning him yet. I'm not also going to defend him because I need to see the evidence now from his side. If that's really fake, and I agree, that screenshot was dodgy, guys. I agree. It looked dodgy. And I'm mad because it's like, why would you put out a dodgy looking screenshot? Why don't you be very clear on what it is, because you are persecuting this man and you're claiming all these things? Why wouldn't you be very clear in the reporting? We looked at her phone. It's on her phone. Now, they sort of do say that, guys. They're like, she never deleted the text messages. And again, I told you guys, if you go on your phone and look for someone you texted 10 years ago that you haven't texted since, go find someone you have texted ages ago, recheck, and the texts are still there. So I can only assume I know a lot of you just can't give any media outlets the benefit of the doubt, but I'm trying to be fair here for the sake, if these victims are telling the truth and they did go forward and this is real, well, then he's got some explaining to do on that text. Now, a lot of you still have answers for it, whatever. I'm just saying, let's let him disprove it. Let's see what's going on. And this is not the way, YouTube. This is deplorable. Look, these are allegations. Regardless of my feelings, your feelings, wherever you stand on this issue, doesn't matter. We are not in a court of law. This is social media. And yes, a lot of people do lie or overinflate or change. It's dangerous out there, and it's really dangerous right now and ugly. Any accusation, some people just take it, depending on how much you like the person, you take it all and believe it, or you don't. And at the end of the day, YouTube should not be the judge, jury, and executioner of someone's livelihood. And he's going to need money right now to defend himself. And now they've just completely deplatformed him in a way. They've demonetized him to take away his sponsors. This is serious, guys. And why did they do this? Well, now he cannot get any advertising from his video. And they say, because if a creator's off-platform behavior harms our users, employees, or ecosystem, we take action to protect the community, the spokesman said. Huh? What? That's it. Okay, so what behavior did he do that? Show me what proof that you have, because these are allegations. And YouTube, if you're going to have that same energy with this creator responsibility thing that we're going to look at in a second, why didn't you do it for her? Guys, Evan Rachel Wood, I'm glad YouTube didn't do it for her, for the record, because they shouldn't have, and they didn't. When Evan Rachel Wood came forward trying to condemn Marilyn Manson with the accusations, which I don't believe her. I've looked into a lot more of the evidence. It does seem like he has a fair argument. I'm seeing how it plays out in court eventually when it does. But I'm not just going to flat out trust her. What she's done to Marilyn Manson is massive. And a lot of stuff has come forward that's not painted her in a good light. So yeah, Marilyn Manson deserves his day of court before we condemn or ignore. And to YouTube's credit, they didn't demonetize him, guys. And they tried. Evan Rachel Wood used the same argument for the video Heart-Shaped Glasses, which essentially R'd me on video. And then the whole documentary came out with more accusations of SA, guys. Marilyn Manson has several of them, which he's fighting and denying. And guess what? Guess what YouTube did when this all happened? YouTube spokesman Jack Malone told the Daily Mail that the platform is monitoring the situation closely and will take appropriate action if we determine there is a breach of our creator responsibility guidelines. And that's the clause. The service says that they could pull the whole channel, demonetize, etc., if they're alleged SAs, but that would require him to confess or to be legally charged or convicted with a crime that harms the YouTube community. Exactly. He wasn't charged, nor was Russell Brand. So how on earth is this allowed, YouTube? This falls right into Russell Brand's narrative. And honestly, here I am defending Russell Brand because this isn't okay. They're proving him correct. And I will call that out when I see it. This is them trying to silence him. This is them taking allegations, believing them, and then saying, okay, well, yeah, sure, we're going to shut you down. You're not allowed to make money on this platform because someone said you did something bad. Think of the ramifications of that. We've all been accused of something bad. Someone just has to come forward and make an accusation, and then YouTube can decide to just shut it off. I mean, granted, they're a business. I guess they can do what they want, but are you okay with that? This is horrendous. This is scary. This is wrong. And yes, I will defend Russell Brand in this because this shouldn't have happened. And this is, and here's where I'm stuck. Because guys, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but I do see a lot of division. Megyn Kelly out there arguing like, guys, what's going on? Is the pendulum swung so far that now we can't even like give someone brave enough to come forward a moment when they seem to have credible evidence to hear it and vet it before we just immediately discredit and try to attack them? Like, it's crazy. At the same time, a lot of people now, Rose McGowan, and we're going to talk about that later in our live, etc. Rose McGowan's come forward saying, well, these women should have named themselves because in journalistic integrity, they shouldn't fall back on anonymity. For real journalism, the people need to come out like I did, etc. And it's a fair question. There's a lot to still digest here. And again, it's why I haven't condemned or defended Russell, because I don't know. And I don't think any of us really know. I know we don't trust the media. This isn't helping. I imagine we're all going to be upset by this because this isn't the way. This is only going to fuel Russell Brand. And what if he did do it, guys? What if that text, the kit, the notes are real? Just sink that in for a moment. Now, again, doesn't mean he's going to jail. Doesn't mean he should be blacklisted from YouTube. I don't know. We need to prove it, right? But there's still like a question I have of like, what do we do? I don't know. What is a victim to do in this case if he really did do it? And a lot of you are like, well, they asked for it because they went to his house and did all this stuff. I mean, that's nuts to me. I don't know, man. It's ugly out there, and I'm trying my best to be fair here and to listen. Listen when there seems to be credible evidence, not just I told you so, bro. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. This doesn't feel like a trust me, bro. This doesn't feel like weird out of context things that don't really equate to proof. This isn't just women saying things. There are some women saying things, but in this specific example of the one woman who provided a text and says they weren't deleted from her phone, it says it's still there, says she took an R kit, says she spoke to authorities the morning after, went to therapy for months, has notes about it. If all of that is true, that is what she's supposed to do. Now, she should have pressed charges, obviously, but look how the internet and everyone is discrediting immediately. Would they have believed her? She didn't think they would. Her whole life is then fighting this fight to get people to believe her when she has evidence and they still don't believe her. Now I get why it's hard. I do. I see it firsthand. And I want to be careful and not screaming my defense for someone when I see something and I'm like, well, wait, let's play this out. And again, if it's fake, I will happily report it. I will correct myself. I will applaud Russell. And I hope he makes all the money in the world, because then he really was telling the truth. And damn right, the Sunday Times, you're in trouble, man, because that's a huge liability for them. I mean, huge. That's why I'm not so quick to just believe, oh, it's a shoddy text, it's all fake, it's all lies. I mean, it could be. It absolutely could be. We've seen NBC reporters and others lie. They do it. I get, that's what's so frustrating. I get why you're all mad, but let's try to take a breath here and not get so mad at each other for having different opinions on this. And don't get mad at people who are maybe pausing a bit to wait for more facts to come out so we can actually know what's going on. Maybe don't be so mad at someone who's not immediately screaming for Russell Brand's innocence. Maybe they're waiting to see, okay, well, let's see how this plays out. And I agree. We shouldn't be out there condemning the man either and removing him from his platforms. It's not even just that. The BBC has now removed all his content. I just think this is too early. We are too early. We can't do these moves on accusations. And yes, I will defend Russell on that because, again, innocent till proven guilty. Of course, you can have your opinion. You could be mad at him. You can believe the victims. All of this can still be true and still wait for an actual charge or conviction to come forward before a moment like this is taken. You need tangible evidence, video evidence, or a court here, something to warrant this. And right now, I don't think this is the way, because this creator policy, if it can just be chosen at a whim of, okay, well, let Marilyn Manson slide, but not Russell Brand. How does that make sense? And by all means, I don't want to say this to try to get Marilyn demonetized, because they did the right thing then. And if they go back and change it now, then all hell's going to break loose, because who's making that call as to who they believe and who they don't? That's the problem here. They shouldn't. They're not a court of law. Just like in all their copyright takedowns and everything, the removal of content, they don't do it until they're sued. And this is scary, man. This is scary. What their off-platform behavior is like. What? Intending to cause malice or harm to others, participating in these things that they say here. Okay, do you have proof that he did that? YouTube, do you have proof? Because I think we're all waiting to verify and confirm the proof. What do you guys think on this? There's more to say. This is crazy. This one's crazy. Because again, even if you believe the women, they have to go forward they have to persecute him. They have to actually take him and charge him. Before that happens, we just have the opinion to support him or not. And that what's so crazy about this ad policy, guys, is the brands themselves can say, we don't want to be on his channel. Like the YouTube could just let it go and then let the brands decide if they want to be with Russell Brand. The brands can decide if they want to brand with Brand, because brands have the opportunity to remove certain places or topics, etc., for where their ad buys go. So YouTube could have controlled this still by saying, if you don't want to be a part of his channel, let us know. And then maybe they put him in a bucket of whatever, we're nervous in the media, whatever. That still would be pretty messed up, but it wouldn't be full demonetization, which is basically them admitting his guilt. This is too far for me. This is crazy. And this is scary what they can do with this. So be aware, pay attention. There it is. What do you guys think of this? Does it anger you too? We'll be talking about this later today in our live, and more coverage coming. So make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below. And guys, please, let's all just try to be cool with each other. Let's not be so quick to call people out and be so aggressive. We all got different opinions. We can't make everybody believe the same thing we believe. At the same time, let's all wait until we get the evidence in. That's what I'm trying to do. I know that's what many of you were trying to do. That's what I think should be done here. What do you think? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching.